Hello there everybody, welcome to the next speedrun interview. Today, I'm interviewing the guy with the most speedruns on his speedrun profile, JayPin88. And now, let's get started. Why did you start speedrunning?
As far back as I can remember, I definitely feel like the two ideal answers that I would give would definitely be one, most definitely out of nostalgia, because there's definitely been a lot of games that I played in my childhood days, and considering how like two main systems that I played on a lot was definitely PC, and my very first console that I've ever owned, which was Nintendo GameCube. And so, within the timeline, within I believe it was like 2005 up till I guess to this very day, I still have like a lot of fun just really looking back at so many games, and like to this day I still feel like there's definitely a lot that I want to definitely play again. And so leading up to, I guess up to 2016, when I first had even heard about Speedrun.com, it was definitely interesting to me, because I heard about this through a high school friend of mine during the lunch period. And so he's checking out the site and caught my attention because I was curious to see what it was about. It looked so well detailed, and so he's kind of explained to me what it was about. And so it had me curious to the point that even later on the day after school, that I had wanted to actually check the site out myself. And it definitely looked pretty fun. See so many leaderboards, and it was like, damn, for like the fastest time and like even world record, and I was like, wow. So a lot of games to me really did come to mind, and it did come to me as well about games that I haven't played in so many years. So it kind of reminds me of the very first game that I searched up on the site, which was a game called Spy Muppets License to Croak, which was consider it a PC game to me. I thought it was just for PC, but like when I first had even saw the leaderboards and knew that there was a Game Boy Advance version, I was actually surprised, because there's definitely a lot of games out there that I'm just knowing, or I just knew about there being different versions on like different consoles. So for it to have been on Game Boy Advance, it was definitely the closest thing that I had gotten. And so I think that was definitely one of the very first games I had even submitted on the site, and it definitely felt pretty fun to actually play the game all over again, but to really do it as a speedrun. And it was like, really had thought about it, and yeah, that's when I actually felt pretty excited to actually start speedrunning from there on.
What games are you currently speedrunning, and what games do you plan on speedrunning in the future?
Well, currently right now, games I would say that I'm currently running are, sports titles in general. I think most recent games that I have been running have been, Fight Night Round 3, which is a PlayStation portable game, but also, I guess for other consoles as well, but I've been focusing mainly on, like, PlayStation portable. And then just recently started getting into FIFA series, which has actually been pretty fun. I've never actually played any FIFA titles before, or ever. I have previously, but just kind of like on a casual note. But to really actually start speedrunning them for real, though, it's actually been pretty fun. Same thing would go for like any basketball game I played. So like NBA Jam Tournament Edition. Definitely plan on starting NBA 2K sooner or later. Definitely some NHL hockey games, MLB baseball, PGA golf, EA UFC possibly. Yeah, those are basically like all the sports titles that I definitely have in mind. But as far as really speedrunning any games possibly in the future, there's definitely a ton. And when I tell you that there is a lot, I mean there is a lot. I even went out of my way to start even making a list last year, based off of like consoles that I definitely have in mind that I want to start, like actually start doing gameplay on for real, or like definitely do runs on for real. And so games that, or consoles that I definitely want to highlight would be definitely, Nintendo GameCube, Game Boy Advance, Nintendo Wii, Nintendo Switch, Nintendo DS, Dreamcast, PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2, PlayStation Portable, and possibly maybe even Xbox 360, but I really have yet to play on a couple of other consoles such as like the Atari, maybe even NES and SNES as well. But yeah, I guess games to really highlight from the bunch of systems that I really just mentioned would definitely be, I guess from the PC side of things, Zuma Deluxe and Revenge. Definitely some underrated games, or like games that I definitely remember playing a lot in my childhood. Peggle Deluxe and Knights, most definitely. Earthworm Jim series, but specifically Earthworm Jim 3D. Chicken Invaders series. Bookworm Adventures Volume 1 and 2. Bejeweled. Backyard Sports series, which is definitely gonna be fun on that one. I think the majority of titles that I really plan on running in the future are from GameCube, because if anything, it's definitely gonna be nice to really try so many new GameCube titles. And so, a lot of popular ones to say at most. So most definitely Luigi's Mansion and Super Mario Sunshine. Possibly Soul Calibur 2. Star Fox series. So Star Fox Adventures, Star Fox Assault. Shadow the Hedgehog. I've always actually wanted to do a run on Shadow the Hedgehog. Sonic Adventure DX. And possibly Sonic Heroes as well. There's a Pikmin series, so Pikmin 1 and 2. Pac-Man series, which specifically kind of had my eye out for, World 2 and 3, and maybe even World Rally. Naruto Clash of Ninja series, Metroid Prime, Mega Man series, which is Network Transmission and Mega Man X Command Mission. Maybe even had thoughts about, Legend of Zelda, because even though I know Legend of Zelda pretty much takes hours on him to really try to get down and practice on, but I feel like Twilight Princess and The Wind Waker are definitely games that I would look forward to really running. But I've always known more about the Wind Waker, and always, really wanted to try the Twilight Princess. There's definitely Kirby Air Ride, Mario Golf, Toadstool Tour, the kart series in general, party series. Definitely Mario Sports series in general as well. So like Power Tennis, Superstar Baseball, and like I mentioned, or possibly Mario Golf, Toadstool Tour. But yeah, the list pretty much just goes on and on. And those are pretty much just some of the highlights out of the list of games that I really pretty much just plan on running in the future.
What glitches, skips, and tricks would you say has been the easiest and also the hardest for you to perform?
Well, I have to say, I guess out of all the games that I've actually ran, I would technically lean this more towards Sonic the Hedgehog 3, which is by far one of my favorite games of all time. So, I've actually have a couple of PBs on the leaderboard for Sonic 3, but I'll definitely put this question towards that game. So, the easiest trick, or the easiest glitch rather, that I feel like I have performed would definitely be Hydra City Act 2's wall clip. I guess basically what you want to do in that scenario is you want to, like, as soon as you're entering into the act after finishing Act 1, is reach to the very first checkpoint and then intentionally die, just so that, this clip would technically work. And yeah, so as soon as you intentionally die, what you want to do is, right as you appear, you want to spin dash towards the wall, and not towards the wall, but like towards the very first slope. I guess the way that I did it was I spin dash I kind of went up towards the very first slope, but then want to like kind of hold down and like come back down and like roll towards the wall, which is coming in the direction that you were spin dashing away from. And as soon as you make it, make it to the wall, you're touching the wall, then you want to instantly jump, and then like right as you're aligned with the 3 rings, then you want to insta shield, in which I believe that's the way that it works. Like I don't think I'm much like of a guy that can really explain how that glitch works, or like certain skips rather, especially with how well detailed that they are. But technically there is, a big guide or a specific guide for those glitches, or like for anything, just a complete guide for all the glitches and skips for the games. Not only for the standalone version, but just for Sonic 3 Knuckles as well. So, right next to the easiest glitch, or a skip, I would feel that the hardest skip for me would most definitely have to go towards Ice Cap. So, I believe like rather, seeing this so much in so many others, people's runs, it's definitely fascinating, and definitely had me surprised the first time I had even noticed that skip. I've really wondered if it was ever possible to really do it myself, and I'm like, of course I can, but I've never really been able to perform the run in it, or like perform the skip in a run, and so like even to this day I haven't actually been able to really pull it off in a run, but I definitely have like more confidence to really try to hit it. I think what the skip basically does is like you're pretty much able to bypass both like the mini boss and the main boss in the second act, and like if anything, you're able to like not only bypass the second boss, but then interact with one of the ending triggers for you to actually enter the next stage, which is launch base. But as I mentioned before though, there is definitely a complete guide for how any of those skips work. Like I'm not all much into explaining it, or I don't know how much to explain, but it's all better like really on how I really perform it.
What games were you shocked to see others speedrun?
I would honestly say that since there have been a lot of submissions that I have actually submitted, it's definitely one game that I want to highlight for this one. And I know, like, I don't know about some, like I said, like I can't much remember about like some titles that I've really done a submission on or ever see like any new runners on, but I definitely want to give this one towards PSP game called Sonic Rivals 2. I definitely feel like Sonic Rivals 1 and 2 in general are both like underrated PSP games that not many people know about or have ever actually played. And so I think most recently there have been a couple new runners that came across the leaderboards and really gave the game a go. I've only done one run on the game so far, but yeah, I plan on really just doing like all the character stories. And yeah, so far it's definitely nice to see that new runners are really just they really are giving this game a try, and so and yeah.
What is your biggest goal for speedrunning?
Well, I would say there are a couple of big goals that I definitely want to achieve in speedrunning. It never really came to mind, considering how this might be considered the biggest goal that I've ever really wanted to achieve in speedrunning, but really feel like I want to get more of an inspiration, or like more of a curious mind, kind of try new games I've never heard of, and really just more so just build more of my games playlist, or like games to really beat. That's really saying a lot, since I do have an entirely huge list of games that I've never played, or I am aware of and know how to play, or I've never played but I have heard of. And yeah, it's really to look at it, like, I've already played about like 400 games already, and it's like, it blew my mind how many games I've already, like, that's how many games I've currently, like, have played so far, and like, really look at it like, you could potentially hit 500, or maybe even far beyond, but hey, anything is pretty much possible, you know, just really to have fun with it, after all, you know. Yeah, I definitely feel like, ideally, to really just come back to, as well as, certain games, and, really just try to grind on those games for real, like, I guess some games to really highlight would definitely be, games like Sonic Mega Mix, Sonic 3D Blast, Sonic the Hedgehog 3, and possibly just any of the games, as I mentioned as well, in games that I want to play in the future for real. And yeah.
Alright, thanks again, JayPin, for being part of my interview series, man. It's really cool to have someone who is so very passionate about speedrunning onto the channel. Especially one who has over, like, 400 damn speedruns on their on their profile. But thank you very much, man. I appreciate it. Alright, that is it for the video, everybody. Thank you so much for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe. That was a suckish snap. Also, share on social media. It will help me out a lot. And I'll see y'all in the next video. Goodbye, everybody.